Today we're going to talk about the 3 things you must do to negotiate a deal and actually make money, right? And close that deal. So if you're negotiating, if you're in the process of negotiating, this video is exactly for you. My name is Michael Barayev. I was able to build a team of 150 plus sales guys in less than 2.5 years. And we did that through negotiating, right? We had to negotiate with every single person and get them on the team to start working with us to close deals and make money. So the 3 biggest things that I would recommend. Number 1, if you're trying to negotiate a deal, okay, understand this. You have to go into the deal by knowing every single possible scenario that could potentially happen in that negotiation. So if I'm going to a big deal, okay, a big negotiation, a closing a customer, whatever it may be, I have to know my shit. You gotta know your shit. You gotta know, okay, what can they potentially say, whether it's yes or no, what are their fears, what are their worries, what are their doubts, what are the potential outs, what are the potential ins. You gotta understand the situation. You gotta be so prepared and create a diagram for yourself in your head, on paper, whatever it may be, to know all the possible outcomes. Worst case scenario, regular case scenario, and best case scenario. So if you walk into the deal, you got to know what to say if they say, I don't want to do business with you. I don't want this product. I don't want this service. You got to also say if they agree, but they say, I agree tomorrow, right? Or they might say, you know what? I want this product right now. Are you ready? Are you ready to deliver it to them? Do you have the right paperwork? Do you have all that stuff? You got to know all the possible outcomes and know exactly what to say and what to do in each situation, okay? You have to be prepared. Right? You cannot just go into a deal and say, I'm going to crush this thing. You got to know your shit before you go into a deal. It's very, very, very important, okay? Meaning you also need to study the person, right? You may have to study the person. Who is this person? What do they like? What do they dislike? What's important to them? What's not important to them? Do some research. If you're going to sit down with a successful CEO and you want to sell them an enterprise product, right? Whatever it may be, you got to know what's important for that CEO. Some of you guys, when you're making phone calls, right, or making knocking on doors or business to business, trying to make meetings with people, you have no idea what's important for the other person. Remember, nobody gives a shit about your product. Nobody gives a shit about your service. Nobody gives a shit about your negotiating deal. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. So what you need to do is get really good at figuring out what do they care about, what's important for the other person. Which leads me to the second thing, right? You have to learn how to listen and be empathetic, right? You got to sell from an angle, right? And you got to negotiate from an angle of empathy. What does this person really want? Why does he want this product? Why would it benefit them? Why would it not benefit them? Does it really benefit them now or should they get it later on? And you have to sell from the angle of empathy, right? It's very important because when you have the angle of empathy and you start listening, what happens is you're able to have perspective. You see, perception is what you see. Perspective is what they see. And you have to learn to become in an angle of look at things from an angle of perception and perspective. So you can see it from your angle and see it from their angle because it's very important. If you want to negotiate and close a deal, you have to look at it from their perspective. What do they see? How do they feel? What will be the outcome if they actually get the product or don't get the product? Because when you understand the pain points, when you understand the other person's fears, worries, desires, ambitions, like if you understand exactly what is important to them, what they want, what they don't want, I guarantee you, you'll negotiate and close every single deal. You may not negotiate to your liking, but you'll always close a deal. See, I'm the kind of guy, it's not about a win-lose, which leads me to the third thing, right? It's not about win-lose. It's about me winning and the other party winning, right? It's about them winning and I'm winning as well. So when I negotiate with anybody, my videographer, my editor, my sales guy, my freaking friend, it doesn't matter. I want them always to understand that I want them to win. If I feel and if they feel that they're winning, then we can worry about me winning. And it cannot be a win-lose because I'm not going to lose. I want them to win and I want to win too. And believe me, if the other party wants me to lose and they only win, I'm not doing business with them. Most people would agree that they want to have a win-win situation. It's got to be fair to them. It's got to be fair to you. Now, you might say, Michael, there's never a situation where someone is going to be 100%, 50%, 50%. I never said it's got to be 50-50. I just said it's got to be a win-win. It may be 60-40, and they may be happy with that 60. Maybe 40-60. I may be happy with that 60. They may be happy with that 40. It all depends on what you're doing for that situation, right? It all depends. But there's got to be a win-win situation, right? So you got to be prepared. You got to know everything about the other person. You got to know everything about every single situation. You got to be prepared and be a machine and be a professional. Know exactly what's going to happen, what might not happen. Why would they say yes? Why would they say no? Be prepared for all the elements. Number 2, you got to listen. You got to listen very deeply, not to what they're saying, but what's in between the lines. What are they feeling? What's important to them? What's not important to them? Why would they do it today? Why would they not do it today? What's in it for them? Right? What's in it for them? What is their perspective? What is your perception? Okay, very important. And number three, it's got to be a win-win. It's got to be a win-win, man. If you make a win-win deal, I promise you, everyone's going to want to do business with you. I get so many offers on a daily and weekly basis of people that want to do business with me because I like win-win situations. I do not want to be the guy winning and someone else losing. It has to be a win-win. So what happens is it's easier for people to want to do business with me or offer me opportunities because they know that I'm not going to screw them over. It's going to be a win-win. It's always going to be a win-win. It has to be a win-win. Otherwise, I will not do the deal. So when you have that kind of reputation in the business world, everybody wants to do business with you. They want to do things with you because they understand that you're fair, they're fair, and they want to do things together with you, right? So my name is Michael Barayev. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. If you love this kind of content, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this with a friend. Maybe you're negotiating with someone. Share it with them so they can actually have this perspective as well. Can you imagine two people thinking this way, coming into a conversation, negotiating a deal, if they both have this perspective? I wish husbands and wives had this kind of perspective. It would be incredible. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.